Here on the Microsoft stand, talking about games, news of a game called Fleet Street Editor, which will be out in December. The idea is that you can design, and if you've got a printer, print your own newspaper. If I tell you that Microsoft is owned by Robert Maxwell, I ask this question: is he trying to tell us something? Now, on the subject of games, you may have been confused by all those charts of games that come out from time to time. This apparently is the definitive one. Just come out, it's published by Microscope in association with Gallup, the poll people. You can see from this that at the moment the top-selling game is Hypersports by Imagine, and there are little boxes down here for the games that are selling well for various different machines. Our Ben Knox is a serious games player, if that's not a contradiction in terms. Here's his report from the show.
Good news for Nodem owners. MUD, the multi-user adventure game which we featured in 4 computer apps earlier on this year, has undergone an extensive rewrite and is now marketed by Muse Limited through British Telecom. Like many adventure games, MUD is based in a fantasy land of dwarves and goblins. Unlike other games, there is a multi-user feature which enables players to interact with one another. This means that they can kill each other, ask each other for help, and perhaps form alliances. There are about 1,000 locations in the game where you may find treasure, meet other players, or just go for a quiet lie down. The object of the game is to collect as many points as possible and try and increase your level to wizard. Once a wizard, you can teleport yourself around the land with great ease, setting up traps and otherwise generally being a pain in the neck to other players. To get onto MUD, you need to purchase one of these, a £20 starter pack which includes maps, instructions and 3 free hours of connect time. Initially, local dial-up access will be only available to London users, though this will change later in the year when the system's linked to PSS. For the first 2 months of service, users will be able to play completely free, which is giving the authors a chance to test the system with a large number of users. After the beginning of November, players will have to pay 20p for 6 minutes. If you want further information about MUD, you can contact the MUD line, which is on 01608 1173. Now elsewhere in the exhibition is Dr Mike Thorne.
Well, yes, indeed, here I am. I've been lurking for some considerable time on the Oxford Computer Systems stand, where I think if you own a Commodore 64 or a BBC Micro, you might find something to interest you, particularly if you've been looking for a complete implementation of the structured programming language Pascal, which doesn't either involve you buying something which has been pared down so much to get it into the machine or to save programmer effort that it doesn't look like Pascal anymore, or in the case of the BBC machine, involve you in buying the second processor. Oxford Computer Systems have done it. Here it is, and we have Oxford Pascal. A complete implementation, satisfying the standard according to Jensen and Worth. In fact, it's rather better than that. There's a list of extensions to the standard, so long I can barely remember them all. Let's just have a look. Dynamic specification of file names, input of strings, hexadecimal numbers and hex IO, bit manipulation, machine language interface. The list goes on. What they've also done is to bring the sound and graphics capabilities of the respective machines up into the Pascal. Let's just take a look at a program I've got in here now. Type list, nice and familiar. To look at the program, there it is. And I think now you can see paper 10, ink 3, plot, high res, the graphics brought up into the Pascal. Let's just run the program so that you can see what it does. Do that by typing R to begin the compiling. Again, some sort of familiar feel to it. And indeed, that is the whole philosophy. Just while that's compiling, I've got time to tell you that the editor that you use to put in your Pascal programs looks and feels just like the basic editor that you use on the machine in question, Commodore 64 or BBC. So you don't have to learn a new editor. Now, the manual's well written. If you can't get on with the manual, there's also a superbook going with it that's written by Ian Sinclair. I hope this isn't a pen name for Uncle Clive, desperate for a few extra bob. Anyway, nicely written book, specifically designed to work with the system. All this from Oxford Computer Systems Limited, and at the head of that, Managing Director Alan Jones. Alan, congratulations on the system.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What else have you got in the pipeline?
We have plans for Oxford Pascal on the Atari, the Commodore 128 and the Amstrad machine. We also have an Ethernet version of the Oxford Pascal as it now stands.
Now then, what everyone wants to know, and I've deliberately kept till the last minute, it's a full implementation. Does that mean you have to pay a lot for it? What's the asking price normally?
Normally it's $49.95.
For both machines?
For both machines,
yes.
And today you can buy Oxford Pascal for the BBC at £40 and for the Commodore at £35.
I see. So in fact, those people who've made the trip down here could probably even save their rail fare if they come and buy the Pascal from you today.
Quite, we'd even...
Right, well once again, congratulations on it. It's nice to see a full implementation.
Thank you, thank you.